Hello, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this morning. Before I move forward, I'd like to take this time to thank Davis Payne and Jane Payne for their support with the St. Louis Blues and wish them nothing but the best moving forward. They're great people and they have a great family, and Davis is an excellent young coach that's going to have a great career ahead of him. At this time, we're here today to introduce the new head coach of the St. Louis Blues, Ken Hitchcock. Ken Hitchcock comes to St. Louis with an impeccable resume, a winner, someone that has molded and grown teams, someone that knows what it's going to take for us to get to the next level, someone that I'm extremely excited to have the opportunity to work with. Present company included, Ken Hitchcock is certainly the smartest hockey man in this room. But more importantly, when we go talk to our players, they're going to know he's the smartest hockey man in there. He's got a great resume, his experience from the Stanley Cup, participating in the finals, being in the semifinals twice, Olympic champion twice, World Cup champion, also working for Team Canada as a head coach, a silver medalist. His resume is impeccable, as I said, and we're very excited to have him. So with nothing further to say except to introduce the new head coach of the St. Louis Blues, Ken Hitchcock.
Thanks, Doug. First of all, I'd like to thank the Columbus Blue Jackets for giving me this opportunity to come to St. Louis. To Mr. Checketts, to Mr. McCarthy, to John Davidson, and to Doug, thanks very much for allowing me to be your coach. This happened very quickly for me. It's still a little bit of a whirlwind. I'm still trying to figure out how I got down I-70 to get here. But I am really proud and excited for the opportunity. And for me, my strength is building teams, building accountability within the framework of teams. I'm a big believer in a certain style of game. There are teams in the West that play that similar style, and I believe and trust it. I've seen it in place not only in the National Hockey League but in the Olympics, and I've seen how it works. And I want to put that program in place. I've learned over time as a coach, as you get older, that the game changes. I think I'm as current or more current than anybody in the National Hockey League at understanding what changes have taken place not only in the style of game but in the dealing with the personnel. And this time away for me has really been a godsend. It's helped me health-wise, it's helped me physically, it's helped me emotionally. And like I said, I'm energized and I'm excited, and if I can get through this press conference without stumbling too much, I'd like to get back in the coach's room where I belong and get back to work with the guys back there. So I'm excited, and thank you very much for having me, Doug.
I think now we can open it up to any questions you may have before we let Ken get back to his day job.
What led to this decision to do it now, just 13 games in?
Oh, well, it's something when I looked at our team and I saw the way we were progressing, there was things, there's postmarks that you look for in management. And I felt that where we were at right now, that we needed an experienced coach, someone that could guide this younger team and to the area it wants to go to. And I just felt that I wanted the certainty of a head coach with a proven track record, a winner, to push these young players and push this organization to the next level. And I think it was very important that we didn't wait around. If I had that feeling, I shared it with the president of the St. Louis Blues, John Davidson. We talked extensively over it, and he gave me the full support to continue down that path, and we're here today.
Doug, you said you wanted to get an experienced coach. Knowing your relationship with Ken, was there only one person you had in mind?
No, there's certainly when you're going through this process, you have to look at all the potential candidates. As a manager, I try and have a list of five people available for every position in the organization. You never know what's going to happen health-wise or feeling you need a change. So Ken was on that list. Again, I shared names and I shared philosophies with John. We talked extensively, and everything came back to Ken's resume, what he's accomplished. I've seen him firsthand as an assistant manager mold a team. I saw him take a young, exciting Philadelphia Flyers team to Game 7 of the semifinals. I saw him take a Columbus team that and provide structure and got them into the playoffs. And I just felt that he had all the attributes we needed moving forward.
Coach, from afar, what have you seen from the St. Louis Blues that has you believing that this team can move to the next level?
Well, I've worked with some of these guys at various levels, world championships. Obviously, I have a strong relationship with Jamie Lagenberner. I don't like Jason Arnott. He's broke my heart, and I'll never forget that. But I think I like potential. I think that my job is to get the best players here to play their best and get everybody to follow that suit, and I think I can do that. I think I can provide the game plan and the structure and discipline that allows the top players to set the direction here. And I've had great success in working with top guys and getting them to play, and I think there's potential for a lot of guys to be top players here. And I think I really enjoyed my relationship with Stewie and Peter Angelo last year, and Coley in the Worlds, and I saw the potential of those guys, and I think that there's a lot of good young players here that can move to a whole other level if we provide that structure and discipline.
Has your coaching philosophy changed at all since your days of winning the Stanley Cup in Dallas versus where you are today?
Yeah, I think for me, in Dallas, we had a veteran team that was kind of slow, but we played like an old dog. We just sat back and let you make mistakes and then buried you. Here, the game now is, if you're going to win in the National Hockey League right now, you got to be a 200-foot team. You got to play really, really fast defensively, and then you got to protect the puck like crazy offensively. So if you're going to win in this league, if you want to create your offense, you got to play 200 feet. Now you can't play in 150, and you also have to play really, really fast. And it's not fast offensively. Fast and loose offensively ends up in losses. Fast and tight defensively ends up in wins. And I think this team has that capability. They've shown flashes of being able to do that, but to be able to do it night in, night out, like some of the teams here in the West do, San Jose, Detroit, Chicago, Vancouver, those are the teams that do it on a nightly basis. And if we can get to that level, then we're going to be in good shape.
Doug, did Davis enter this season knowing that he was on a short leash?
No, I wouldn't think so. Obviously, when you're working with someone, you try and support them all the way up until the last second. And I've tried to support Davis. We've had great conversations throughout his tenure here. This was based more on a gut feeling of the manager that there was a different direction that we could go with an experienced coach that could poke and prod and get a young core to meet their potential, and that's why and how this decision was made.
Coach, there's some speculation that you might be back on the bench soon. From the time that you knew that the job was available to you, what convinced you to come to St. Louis?
You mean the 15 minutes I had? There was zero discussion for me to go back to Columbus. I was really happy there working with the three guys in the American Hockey League. I really loved that. And mentoring those three guys was really fun for me. When this call came, I'm all about the people you work with. And I've known John since John was small and a goalie in the Western Hockey League. And that's a long time ago. And I've known Doug for 18 years. So I knew the working relationship I had with those guys. And I just felt like I couldn't miss out on this opportunity to work with these people. I couldn't miss it.
How close have you paid attention to the Blues this year? When was the first conversation you had with Doug about this?
3 o'clock yesterday. I was in the car at 6:30. It was late and it was quick. And I have done a lot of work. One of the things that I did over the last year and a half was study every team closely. And I have a 6 or 8 game report on every team. The Jackets gave me permission to go into the arena to observe other teams, and I took scouting reports off of that, so I got a big advantage live this year, which really helped me. But I've watched every team play at least 4 times this year very closely, and I've done that in preparation for the next gig. So I assumed that if I went into a team, I better be ready on a scouting report on every team and not have to count on a coaching staff to provide me with the information. I better have that knowledge myself. So I've done a lot of work on prepping what they do well and what we need to do to beat them.
Hitch, welcome to St. Louis.
Thanks, Banger.
You know, I talked to a couple of the guys that played with you in the past, and the number one thing that they said was not just your knowledge game, but your in-game ability to adjust. Is that one of the strengths that you see as a coach during the course of a 60-minute hockey game?
I don't know why, Darren, but the game for me is in slow motion. When I stand on the bench, the game is in slow motion. I don't have any idea why. I talked to Scotty a lot about the way to do it and little mechanisms that you do on the bench, but the game is in slow motion for me. So I don't feel I need eyes in the sky and a bunch of video to tell the players in between periods what needs to change. And I don't know why that is, and it's just the way it's been. I've been able to remove myself. I know I look stoic behind the bench, but I'm a little bit like a duck back there. But I have, for a number of years, have found a way to remove myself from the emotion of the game so I can analyze and make adjustments quickly in between periods.
Coach, when you look at this team, what's the biggest challenge that lurks for you to get these guys going in the right direction?
Everybody has to be on the same page defensively and offensively for 60 minutes. And there are flashes of that, but it's not consistent. And for us to be an elite team, it has to become consistent. We have to buy into the defensive game and the offensive game to become a great 200-foot team. You can't win in the league unless you've got everybody committed for 200 feet. And that means the details of stopping on pucks. It means the detail of how quick you can get in on support before the other team. It means how strong you can, what's your plan on puck possession. Because the more you keep it, the more you have a plan to keep it, the better you're going to be. But it takes a lot of coordination on the ice without having to think. It's got to become automatic. And I see a lot of automatic here for a short period of time, and then I see a lot of thinking and hesitation. And we've got to get the thinking and hesitation out of the game. We've got to make it more automatic.
Coach, when you look at this roster, do you see A, talent to get it in the playoffs, and B, to have success in the playoffs?
That's the goal. I know we got to climb ahead of ourselves, and it's not about the points you're at right now. It's the number of teams that are over you. I know we got to climb, but we got as much or more potential than anybody around, and we can make this climb. But the buy-in has to be immediate. We can't afford for the fencing, and that's why there's not going to be a lot of major changes. The changes will be subtly and be done at practice. I'm not going to have a bunch of board changes going on right now. The demands I'm going to place are on playing the game the right way, core value stuff that's non-negotiable. But I'm not going to be changing systems or anything so that we have to go through a growth spot. I want to hit the ground running tomorrow.